Good morning.
Good morning. This feels different being on the hot seat. Hello. Hi.
Lucy, are you ready?
I
Are
think
you ready? Welcome to HealthFormers, Age of the Plan, episode number 3! So, you might ask why it's not Lucy Tsai, which is in the hot seat today. Am I not hot and cute with that hair? Am I not looking like Lucy? No, Lucy wanted to make sure, got a lot of requests from her audience that they would like to know more about her as well. So today I have the pleasure to introduce her and to make her be the one in the hot seat. So I'm Raphael Tripet. I was the one being the guest last week, and today we will introduce Lucy Tsai. Woo! So Lucy, how would you like me to introduce you? With which tone of voice?
Payback time after all what you did in the last episode. Okay. I am going to request for a cute and sexy voice.
Cute and sexy voice. Ooh.
Yep.
Okay, so I got the cute. What is the sexy one?
So it'll be like, cute is just like this, and then you put a sexy twister, so you go like this.
Oh.
Yeah, and you still speak in a very cute voice.
Okay. So, and I think I've got something very nice for the sexy voice. I need to. That will make it very, very appropriate to the scene, to this tone of voice. So, you don't want to know where I got this one. So let me introduce Lucy Tsai! She was born in Taiwan. She's the youngest of the family with two older brothers. When Lucy would play make-believe game, she would dream of being a doctor, a nurse, or a hairdresser. Where she accidentally jumped off her cousin's hair one time and got in huge trouble. Lucy is cheeky and always loves putting a smile on people's face. She will always sing, make jokes, and laugh out loud to cheer her grandma. Also, Lucy is an Asian. She got a B in math, and even got a 0 in calculus. Lucy loved drinking bubble tea with her friends, enjoying eating multicultural cuisine. She is in the closet foodie, and Japanese epic barbecue is one of her favorites. She will also binge drink and party at the weekend when she lives in Japan for 6 years. Since September 2019, Lucy consistently started to live a healthy diet and went on a 10 days, 70% plant-based diet challenge. And then she also completed a 4 weeks 100% diet challenge last month. She got experience an immediate hit of energy when eating plants and when she likes to, and what is to have the body work for you rather than against you. And that is why Lucy founded HealthFormers and starting shooting Age of the Plant series on YouTube and creating this health and fun podcast. So she can show the world how simply it is for us to transform health, one bite at a time. And have fun in the process! Lucy's vision is to unleash the inner hero in you, so that united we can all live healthy, live happy, and create a world of zero poison for children, and save hers. Let's welcome the captain of HealthFormers, Lucy! Welcome! I cannot lose that voice anymore.
You can go back to normal now. You need some water.
I need some water.
Oh my god! Oh wow!
The bottom of my throat is very dry.
Yes. Wow! Thank you so much for that intro. Much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Oh my god, my face hurts now.
Good. I hope you had a good laugh.
I did. I was holding it in, trying not to laugh out loud, so because it'll distract you. But I was like, oh my god, my cheek hurts so much.
I could hear the small laugh in the background. Okay. With having said that, let's start straight to the question. And the first question that I will have for you will be, what is the biggest obstacle faced in becoming plant-based, and how did you overcome it? Straight
Wow.
to the point. Straight deep.
I know. Oh
there is no warm-up time.
Okay. Well, yeah. This one's a really good question. Whoever made up the question is really smart.
You're welcome.
The biggest obstacle, I think, there were several obstacles I had to go through.
Yeah.
And the first one, I think, is the belief that you can be healthy. Because if you heard, as you heard in an intro, I was never a healthy person before. Like, I thought I was healthy, but I was just living my life. I was eating all the junk food there is. I had a super sweet tooth. I would drink every weekend. I would be like, barbecue was my favorite dish. And so I never ever identified myself as like a plant-based person or a vegan person. So when people used to talk about it, I used to go, that's not me. That's way out of my league. So that was the first one. And then, so when I came on this journey, the other obstacles I faced is, I just didn't, because I didn't think I was doing it. I never planned to become 100% plant-based like I did last month. So what I did is just like, because I went to this Tony Robbins UPW seminar September last year. And then I learned so much about what is real health. And then that really, to me, was like a smack in the face. It woke me up and go, holy crap, I need to start to take care of my body. Otherwise, like, I'm going to live in hell. Like, I'm not going to enjoy life. I'm not going to get the energy that I was craving for because I was in this vicious cycle of eating shit food and feeling no energy. Then I feel even more shit. Then I eat more shit food. And it was just a downward vicious cycle. And then after that seminar, they had a 10-day challenge where they just said, simply just do it for 10 days. Go 70% plant-based and 30% you can eat whatever you wanted. And then so before that, I was probably at like 50-60% meat. Every single meal I had 50-60% meat. So going from that to 70% plant-based was a big shift for me at that time. And then I made sure I cut out alcohol for the 10 days as well. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I didn't have to cut that out. But I was a tea drinker where I was addicted to having tea every single morning to wake myself up. So for me, I know tea is good for you, but when you're addicted to it like that, it's not. So I cut that out as well. So I cut out alcohol, I cut out tea, cut out like the junk foods, and then I went 70% plant-based. And then after the 10 days, I remember the first few days I really struggled. It was all discipline that I wanted to do this. And then the first weekend was the worst. Like I remember I went out with friends, and then, you know, when you go to a restaurant, like my habit before was you order food, like whatever food you feel like eating. And then there's always a glass of alcohol. And for me, my favorite used to be a cocktail that is super sweet, a sweet cocktail, or like Moscato would be my favorite wine. So for me, it was like I was literally shaking in the restaurant going, oh my God, I can't have my alcohol. I can't have my alcohol. And luckily the friend I was out with, like he was like super gentleman, and he just ordered juice with me. So that helped me. But it's still, the first weekend was so hard to go through, like battling that your old pattern where what you're used to doing every single weekend. But then after the 10 days, I was like, yay, I finished it. I can go back to normal. So the very next weekend, I was just like, yay, I can drink. And then I realized that my body couldn't handle it. I was drinking and eating whatever I felt like. But my taste bud, I could tell that my taste bud had changed without me expecting it, because they were saying that before I started, and I didn't really believe in it. I seriously, I was like, yeah, as if. And then so I did that, and then I tried the alcohol, and my stomach started to feel so much pain, like someone was stabbing my stomach from inside out. And then I would go and have my favorite, like used to love grapes, like super sweet grapes, like you're like eating lolly when you eat it. And I was having it, and my habit is like, it's really bad. When I go to a grocery store, I'll pick a grape and eat it, and if it's sweet, I'll buy it. If it's not sweet, I don't buy it. So I had that habit, and then I'll pick it up and I'll be like, oh my God, it's so sweet, it's gross. And I was shocked when I had that reaction, because that is not me. I would used to buy bag of grape every week, because it's like I'm super lazy. Grapes you can buy, you just wash, you don't have to cut or peel them, you can just eat like this. And so I was shocked by how, like, when I drank alcohol, I didn't like it anymore. When I ate the sweet food I used to like, I didn't like it anymore. And so that made it a lot easier. So I think that was the obstacle I had to overcome. That was the first one. And then the second obstacle I had to overcome when I did this 100% plant-based challenge just last month, it was my craving for pizza. Oh my God, like pizza and cheese. And like, I loved getting extra double cheese when I get pizza. Like, I would always request for that at the restaurants. That's me. And then so for that 1 month, I was like, oh my God, I have pizza cravings, and I didn't know how to overcome it. I even like, I'm part of these food posts on Facebook groups. And I even made a question saying, how do you like overcome your craving for cheese or pizza when you have it? And they gave me all these tips. Like someone said, well, think of the pus in the cheese and the dairy milk. And I was like, what does that mean? I didn't even know what that meant. So I had to Google what's pus in dairy. And then after I found out what it was, that really grossed me out. But that still wasn't enough for me not to want that pizza. So after the 1 month, the 4 weeks thing, I gave into my craving. I just went, I'm going to eat it. Like, I'm on a break now. And then I had it. And then the strangest thing is that I was eating it, and all I could feel was oil. Like, it was super oily. And it was just some texture, like chewy texture, like rubber. And it wasn't giving me the joy anymore. And I was so disappointed. Because I was looking forward to the joy that I had in my memory, and it wasn't there anymore. So I think that's the obstacles I had to overcome. Like it's mainly the mind game.
Yeah.
It's the mind playing the games on you. That's the biggest obstacle. But once you overcome the discipline at the beginning of like cleansing your body, detoxing, and going through the 10-day or the 4 weeks challenge, your body starts to work for you. And then test it out with your body, and your body will tell you that it doesn't like it anymore. And then it's not an obstacle anymore because your body started to work for you. Yeah. So that's my experience. Yeah.
That's I would I have two things which coming out from that. And the first one, so I feel that it was really like a challenge. It initially helped you to actually go through that phase, and knowing that it was like for 10 days, you are like, okay, I can do it. I can start. I can actually make it. Stop alcohol and binge on some foods that I shouldn't eat, and go for a 70%, 70-30 plant-based diet, which really enable you to actually go through that. And then there is the other aspect, which is more and that's where I've realized it for me, is the emotional links that you have related to a certain food. And sometimes you think that this food is like the most beautiful food, that's your favorite food. But what I've realized is it's actually the time when you first maybe tried it in your life. And when you tried it and you were into, I remember for me, I love korma chicken. And I remember the first time I ever tried it, I was in London with my family, and it was a day where it was the entire family together. We were having a lot of fun, and we went to that Indian restaurant. That was one of the first time, and the moment was really extremely a loving moment, sharing with the family. And since I got, my favorite dish is like this chicken korma, but I've never been able to find the same taste that I tried at that time. That when I tried it at that time. So I've tried it everywhere else around the world, but it's always, I would say, the same dish. But what is missing from that experience is actually the emotional impact. That was a very loving, caring environment that I was in when I've eaten it. And that's where when you start again to like the pizza and eat again, I feel like, okay, there was maybe not the same emotional, you were not in the same emotional state at the time where you eat the pizza now with after the plant-based. And obviously you have also the taste buds which are changing and you are becoming more aware of your taste buds.
To that point, like the actual food probably never ever tasted that great. It was the emotions you associated with it that made you think it's that great. But in fact it's not healthy. Definitely. So it's like, it's a mind game.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Next question.
Okay.
What triggered you to be health conscious, and why? I feel like you answered that question. Was it
no, it's slightly different. What triggered me? Well, I think it was back to like, when you're living in your 20s, when you're a teenager and you're in your 20s, you have so much energy. And your metabolism is so like functioning so well that you could eat anything you want, have a full belly, and you wake up the next day and your belly's flat. And you're like, I don't get why people are having belly problems. I don't have that problem. Like that's what I used to be like in the 20s. And then when you start to approach the late 20s, and then when you hit the 30s, that's when you start to see a change in the metabolism, like actually slowing down. Like you could mentally still feel like you're only like 21, 22, like which is like that's how I sort of live. Like mentally I live younger, but your body is having its natural cycle. And so I started to like it sort of like started 10 years ago, where I started to like gradually every year I would gain a kilogram or two. Consecutively, cumulatively over the last 10 years. So that's like, from around my late 80s, like let's say 28, I would gain 1 to 2 kilograms every year. And by the time I'm now in my late 30s, I accumulated like up until last year before I started this thing, I was like 10 kilograms fatter than I am now. I was at like 58, 59 kilograms and I'm only like 158. So I'm short. So that for someone my size is actually overweight. And then I got so fat that I was too afraid to go on the scale. Like I avoided it. And then now I have to say I'm thankful for my relatives, especially my uncle, because I went back to Taiwan for Chinese New Year like 2 years ago. And he made a comment where he laughed and he said, "You're getting so fat, you're getting ugly, and you're old, and you have no one, you're not married." So he said all the really, really harsh, straight to the point things that really stabbed me in the heart. He said I was old and fat and ugly and all that thing. Like, why are you like this now? And then so that for me was a wake-up call. So I came back and then I started to go into the gym and then I could start to see the progress. And as I started to go to the gym, I had more confidence again. But that wasn't enough. That itself, like just gymming and eating what you think is healthy at that point where I was like, I'm going on a no-carb diet, you know? So I make sure I have veggies and I have protein, which is some sort of meat. That was my idea of healthy. Like, so that's where I did that, you know, around 50% meat, 50% veggie. But then I realized that still itself wasn't enough, like, because I was getting really depressed because I really didn't like who I was. I was getting so depressed. And to the point, like, I felt like I was living like a zombie. I felt like I was a walking dead. I couldn't see any purpose in life. So I really, really hit like rock bottom. And to the point where I was just like, okay, I really need help. And that's how I believe it was grace that led me to that Tony Robbins Unleash the Power event, where it really literally changed my life. And since then, I've been on this self-development journey. I've been going on this health journey, and now I'm just feeling energy every single day. And I know how to maintain the energy. I know how to prime myself to be in the state. I know how to use physiology. I know how to use emotions, and I know how to eat. So I have this level of energy, which that's a lot of the feedback I'm getting from my followers, my listeners out there. Like, it's this energy I'm emitting, and this is what I'm feeling every day. And so that was a trigger. So I think looking back, it's good that, you know, you've hit rock bottom, because once you hit that rock bottom, sometimes it just takes that absolute rock bottom to wake you up and go, that's not the life I want.
And someone having the courage to tell you the right thing right in front of you.
And my advice would be, like, thank them, because if it wasn't for them, I would still be super fat, because I was comfortable in that state. I was comfortable just eating whatever I felt like. I was comfortable just binging, watching Netflix on the weekends rather than going out to exercise, and just to hop on the scale. Even though my clothes started getting tighter. I remember there was a work pant I had one time where I kneeled down, I squatted down, and then it cracked open in the ass area. Lucky I was at home when it happened. It didn't happen at work.
You are lucky. It happened to me when I was on holiday in the middle of Rome. It was a short. I jumped on something and suddenly I heard the crack.
And so that for me was just like, why is this happening? And I even got my mum to sew it back, so it was double sewed, double protected. But that wasn't solved. That was just a bandage problem, right? The actual problem was I was unhealthy, like emotionally, physically, everything, and I had to change. And it's realizing that, and it's just making that decision that, yes, I have to do this. This is not the life I want.
That's I love the metaphor of the bandage, because somehow we know that unconsciously that there is an issue, but we will try to sew the pants again rather than actually going to the gym.
Exactly. Or like buy new clothes that are larger in size. Like that's not how you solve the issue.
That's how you cover it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next question. Have you zagged since? And what was it?
Have I what?
Have you zagged since? And what was it?
Of course. Oh God. Yesterday.
Tell me more.
Okay. Another one of my favorite food is donuts. Like that is something like all my friends and colleagues would know. Donuts would drive me mad. And my favorite is the chocolate icing ones or the Nutella donuts. Oh my God. So
That's high sugar.
yeah. And so the last time I had donuts was like before I did the 100% plant-based challenge. Like, so that was back in February. And then because I'm about to start my phase 2, probably tomorrow I'll start. So I wanted to make sure that I want to get all the cravings out of the way. So I know that I trust my body enough to tell me that if I just eat it, I know my body will tell me that it tastes like crap. I don't like it. So yesterday I was having a little bit of like craving. I was starting to fantasize how great would it be to have a donut, because I've been wanting it for the past 2 weeks, but I haven't been able to buy any in this area because, you know, you can't go out too far now. And then so yesterday I was like walking down at the shops and I was like, oh, okay, there's donuts in here. And then so I went in and got it. And then I came back home and I ate it. It was just, you know, the typical chocolate glazed donuts. And then I ate it and oh my God, number one, it tasted like it was stale to me. But even though it probably wasn't, but it tasted like it was stale. And tasted like sugar. And I felt sick eating it. Like I did not enjoy every single bite of it, but I still deliberately finished it so I could reprogram myself to know that this is what donuts taste like now. So I won't fantasize it anymore. And I think that helped. Like I zagged, but even though I zagged, I was able to reprogram my memory to go, this is what donuts taste like. It's not the donut I associated with before. Yeah,
makes sense. Wonderful. Next question. When you have a craving for meat, cheese, junk food, what do you do?
My advice, it really depends on like what part of the cycle you're in, right? So I think it's when you're on this challenge, like my next phase is I'm going to do another 1 month, I think, of 100% plant-based challenge. So that is when you have cravings, you can't eat it at all, because I don't want to fail during that challenge. I'm internally really competitive with myself. So when that happens, I think it's really hard, right? Because it's a memory trick that's playing on you. Just don't come in sight with it. Like if your favorite, my favorite was pizza, so don't go to a pizza restaurant. Just eat at home. And then you know what are the healthy foods you like. You know what's the things you can go to overcome the craving. So that's one trick. And another trick is to learn about the food you're craving. Learn about how is it made. Learn about where it comes from. Learn about all the poison or all the chemicals that are included in them. Like, for example, the pizza one, the cheese. After I researched how milk came from, where it came from, and how there's pus in it, and the fact that I zagged last time, so now it's helping with my memory to go, it actually doesn't taste that good anymore. So all of this combined will help. And then for sweets, and then another really good trick is just don't have it in sight at home. Make sure anything you may crave, don't have it in your pantry, don't have it in your freezer, don't have it in your fridge, don't have it in sight. And all you have to make sure you do is when you go out, don't buy it.
That's an excellent drink.
And if you're too weak for that even, don't go out. Just don't go eat at restaurants, because I struggled with that. Like when the smell of food, or when your next door neighbor's doing a barbecue. Oh my God. And then, so another trick is, now I'm practicing, and I think it helps, is appreciate the smell. Just enjoy it. And then just start to picture yourself filling up when you smell. And then the craving goes away magically. It's like you picture yourself eating it, like by just smelling it. And then you start to feel full. Okay. So there's all these mind tricks you can play.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. The last one.
I've been testing it and it works. And then like just like, you know, drinking water, having nuts, you know, just like if you really, really need to get something in there, because like you just need to make sure your stomach is filled, and then that'll make everything easier. Once you're full, you don't have any cravings. So just go to the healthy snacks, like the nuts, having water, or I have my ginger honey, cinnamon tea, like all those little tricks helps me. Yeah. Wow.
And I'm thinking about, so next time that you think about the donuts, you go in the supermarket, and I feel full.
I also do one more stupid thing, which my friend laughed at me one time. I'll look at the donut, right? I'll look at it and I'll be like, I'm mentally eating you right now.
I remember the memory.
And then I'll picture myself eating it, and then I'm like, I'm done. I can walk away now. So I've done that as well, and it helps as well. Yeah.
That's great. And I would add one more trick about that is try to replace it with something else. For example, the pizza. I've tried to create the pizza base with mashed cauliflower rather than actually dough and flour and so on. And it tastes actually very good. And the thing is, the cauliflower is nutrition dense ingredient. So therefore you feel full quicker. So you cannot have the entire pizza, but only 1 or 2 slices will fill you up.
Can you teach me how to do that? Because I don't know how to do it yet.
I need to find the recipe. It was a long time ago that I've done it.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
And I'm not doing it very often because it takes a bit of time. So I'm all simple and quick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Next question. What's your food life like now?
My food life like now. So it's been interesting that even though I'm not on any strict diet right now, because I'm in a phase of where I'm just having a rest, I've noticed how my body just naturally don't want to have meat anymore. Because every day now, like for this week, I've been asking myself, do I want any chicken? Do I want any like fish or steaks or, you know, all the typical things I would love to eat before. And then my body just tenses up and doesn't feel like it. It just feels sick. And then, but I want variety. Like that's something I crave for. I need variety because I've always enjoyed all different types of multicultural cuisine. I love like from all the way from Italian, Spanish, all the way to all various type of Asian food. And the typical food I cook is fusion. Like, because I like to keep it simple. So any traditional dish, if it's very local, is very time consuming. So I just fuse it to make it really simple. And so I need variety. And then, what was the question again? Sorry.
What was your food life like now? You are the one in the hot seat. You are the one who made up this question.
And then, so what I've been doing the past few days is like, so I don't have any meat at all in my kitchen, in my pantry, in my fridge. I don't buy it. I never used to like cutting anyways. And then, so if I'm going to have it, I order it. But even my body is telling me I don't feel like ordering. So I'm eating all like just plant-based food, 100% for the past few days. Oh, except for the donut. That probably wasn't vegan donut though. There might have been some milk in it. But so when I cook though, I just I cook fusion type of dishes, and it's just all plant-based, and I'll make sure there's a variety. So like it's all different types of colors. There's beans in there, there's legumes in there, and I have carbs. I'll go like, what carb do I feel like? And I just eat. And when I'm hungry, I snack on nuts like you do. I make sure I do a handful. So what I do is I'll grab a handful and I'll close the jar, put it away, and I only eat that handful.
That's what I'm doing. But then I'm going for a second.
You go back on. Yeah, so that's what my food is like now. It's just like I'm naturally just eating plant-based.
Yeah.
And I crave it. I crave it. I crave that immediate hit of energy once I eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting. When I also shifted to a more plant-based diet and much more veggies than in the past. And now I'm also having some craving for veggies and for just simple, and sometimes just the steamed veggies for the taste itself, without any spice, anything around, but just feeling the veggies itself. And that's a craving now. And when you are telling that to other people, they are just like,
no,
where?
Yeah, because your taste buds change so much. You can appreciate the natural sweetness or the saltness of the veggies come in already in itself. You don't need to add much salt or pepper onto it anymore. So the way I cook now is like I don't even cook with oil. Like I'll cook like if I'm doing a stir fry, I'll just put some like liquid amino, some water, and some whatever type of seasoning or herbs or vegetable stock in it, and I'll stir fry like that. And it's so light, it's so easy. And if I feel like some sort of mixed veggie soup, I have all these pre-cut vegetables in the freezer. Chuck all different colors in, one handful of each, and I'll put some tofu in it as well. And I'll make the soup base in whatever type of soup base I want. Do I feel like Asian today? Do I feel like something Taiwanese? I feel like something Japanese, and I put miso. If I want something Western, I put some, vegetable stock in it. And then it's just those simple stuff. And then if it's salads, if I really do want oil though, after I cook it, I'll put a tablespoon of oil like onto the dish after it's cooked. Because any oil you heat up becomes poison. So I will add the oil after it's cooked. Okay. And it's so light. Yeah.
That's very good to know. Even the vegetable oils and so on, they become poisonous.
Yeah. Because like it's a chemical reaction that happens.
Yeah.
So I know there's all different types of debates out there. But the one I don't see any harm in not heating up oil. So I don't heat it up unless I really, really need to. But so far, I've been easily able to avoid heating up oil and still have the dish taste really well by just adding the oil after it's cooked. Yeah.
So so what are you using instead of oil when you want to do a stir fry?
Just water and then whatever like liquid aminos, whatever you want to give it taste. And so you heat up the pan, and so it's boiling. So you're doing a water-based type of stir fry with like whatever seasoning and herbs you want. Yeah, and it's so simple. Yeah,
it's so simple, but that's where I was asking you the question and going more in detail because the people don't know about that. So
it's just simple
tricks. Myself will go straight for the oil because that's what I know. That's what I'm familiar with.
That's what we've been taught.
Yeah.
But when you try it, you realize, it doesn't stick to the pan.
Yeah, true. Okay, awesome. Next question that I have for you is, if you could be any plant, what would it be?
Oh my God, when I was asking you in the last episode, I was thinking of what would be the plant I wanted. And I had two that came in mind. The first one was mango. But then after you mentioned the palm tree one, because I really liked how you described it. So I'm going to choose coconut tree. Coconut itself and the coconut tree. And why? Is because number one, I love coconut juice. I love it. And it's super healthy as well. And number two, where are coconuts grown? It's grown like in the tropics where there is sunshine, where it's on a island somewhere tropical where you go on vacation right next to the beach. It's happy, there's sunshine. All my favorites. So that's why I choose coconut.
Very good.
So I think that represents me.
I have the image of Fiji, which is like coming up right now.
Yes, exactly. It's just like, right next to the beach, you have coconut trees. And like my favorite is, to have a coconut juice, drink coconut oil on the beach, right? With the sunshine and everything. It's like perfect.
Yeah, it sounds like holidays.
Yeah.
Let's go there. Next question. Please share a quick and dirty healthy recipe ideas life hack.
Quick and dirty one. So my favorite go-to one I've been doing a lot recently is because I used to have a sweet tooth and I still have sweet cravings every now and then, but I know what to do to replace it with. So I make this ginger, honey, cinnamon tea, and how you make it is so simple. So what you do is you get a ginger, and I use this fruit peelers. I don't even use a knife. That's how lazy I am. I get the fruit peelers and I peel 5 slices of ginger. Yeah. Put it in a cup, and then you boil water. So it's like 100% boil, 100. And you boil the water, and you get raw honey. So a teaspoon of raw honey and a dash of cinnamon, and you pour the hot water in it to about 200 milliliters. And then you stir it. And then, because I like to drink it straight away, so I'll put some cold water in it, another 50 milliliters of cold water in it. So altogether, it's about a 250 milliliter cup of hot ginger honey tea. And then I drink that. It's so nice. It'll soothe or whatever sweet craving you have. And it's also very healthy for you. We all know the benefits of ginger and honey as well, and cinnamon, like your favorite cinnamon. And I drink that, and it fills you up, and you don't feel like you need anything else after that. And it's so simple to make. It's 1 minute. Yeah.
And, if I may ask, which kind of honey are you using?
I use raw honey. Okay. And I just buy it at my local bulk food store, whatever is raw honey there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've heard that the industrial honey can be added with a lot of water and sugar inside.
Yeah, so buy the raw honeys. Yeah.
Awesome. Next, what habit are you the proudest of breaking?
I think. There's a couple. Drinking alcohol every weekend, because I was addicted to that cycle every weekend. Now I'm not addicted to it. I still can drink if I decide to, if I choose to. If it's a special occasion, like it's Chinese New Year, I'm with my family and relatives, I'll have a glass and go, cheers, Happy New Year. I can do that if I want to, but I'm not addicted to it. And that itself, it's such a great feeling. You feel free. I have the power now. I am the boss of deciding when and what alcohol I want. I'm not enslaved to it anymore. Such a great feeling. So that's the biggest one. And then number 2 is my sweet tooth. Oh my God. My sweet tooth is the worst. I would order bubble tea that is original, extra sweet type of bubble tea. Nutella's my favorite. Used to be my favorite. Chocolate would be milk chocolate or white chocolate. I would never ever used to eat dark chocolate. The fruits I used to love were lychee, super sweet fruits, and grapes, like I mentioned before, or mango. Super sweet fruits is what I love. Ice cream as well. I loved ice cream. And so that was me before, but now my taste buds has changed so much. I'm not trying to give it up. I'm not forcing myself to give it up. It's my taste bud has changed. So when I do eat it, because my memory was playing tricks on me, I realize I don't like it anymore. So naturally, I just give it up. And the cravings, the frequency of the craving is reduced every time you do that. You have a craving, you test it. You have a craving, you test it. That frequency reduces. And to a point now where it's I don't have any real need to eat all those things anymore. If I do have a craving, I'll have 100% dark vegan chocolate. And I love that. Even 70% dark chocolate for me is too creamy now. It's so weird. Yeah. So weird. Yeah. And so, those two, the alcohol and the sweet tooth. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that you mentioned a point which was quite important is even when you feel it, you still go for it and not going like cold turkey, not having sweet or any chocolate or anything like that, not at all during the rest of your life. No, you still enjoy from time to time, but now it's more like, oh, I desire it rather than it's a habit.
Yeah, I think, yeah, this is very different to, I think, what a lot of people are promoting out there, like to be healthy, or when you go plant-based, or when you go vegan or whatever. It's like a lot of people think it's a one-way road. Once you're on this path, it's a one-way road, and when you have craving, you just have to fight against it. But I've been testing this out on myself, and I'm finding it very effective. Is like when you know you've gone through the initial cycle of where you've disciplined yourself, you've detoxed your body, and you know that your body is starting to work for you. You have to go through that initial stage, of course, like whether it's 10 days or that 4 weeks or whatever initial stage it takes for you to discipline your body, to detox your body. Once that's over and you know your body's starting to work for you, you're feeling that energy, then trust your body enough to test it out. See it as an experiment. You're just doing a trial and error, because it's reality is what's going to replace your old memory. Otherwise, your memory will keep on playing tricks on you. That, oh my God, that's super good. But when you replace it with, this is the new reality now, that memory will start to like it'll start to drop. The importance of it will start to come down.
Yeah,
and that's how I gave up alcohol. It didn't, it wasn't just that one time. It was, I did it and I felt pain. And then a few weeks later, I drank it again and I felt more pain again. And then it was probably after the third or fourth time I did it, and the pain was just so much. I was just like, that's it. Yeah. And that's how I just accidentally gave it up. I didn't want to give it up, actually. I didn't want to give it up, but I accidentally did it.
Yeah. And that, I think nobody wants to give it up, but it's just by seeing how it feels inside your body that you actually, oh, I feel much better without it than with it.
Yeah, because like when I drank it, I would feel this instantly, my energy was sucked out. Like a vacuum sucked it out, like when I drank a glass of alcohol.
Yeah.
And I hated that feeling. It felt like, it just felt so, it felt like, it's just someone came with vacuum and like sucking your soul out, and you feel like you're dead. And I'm like, I don't want to go back to that. Like I was like that before. I don't want to go back to that state.
Yeah, definitely. And it makes you feel like you don't enjoy it as much as you used to back in the day. Yeah.
No.
I can definitely relate, because I had a tiny glass of alcohol last night, and I was like, I start feeling my heart beating faster and so on. So I'm like, it's not a feeling that I really enjoy the drink as much as I used to enjoy it.
Yeah. And a lot of people think that, oh, but then how do you connect with your friends and family? Because I think alcohol is the thing you use to connect with them. But you don't have to. You can be connecting with them and doing cheers with them with a glass of water or juice or whatever, non-alcoholic. And you still can connect. And it's like, if you explain to them why you're doing this, if they're your true friends and they're your families, they will respect you. And they will actually instead see you as a leader. And then you may even inspire them to become like you one day. So that's how I see it. And it's definitely working. Yeah. For me, like my brother is like, he drinks so much alcohol every weekend, and he's like 100% carnivore. But because I've been on this journey, and I insisted that, I'm doing this 100% plant-based thing, he actually ended up respecting me. And when we did go out and have our, we go out and have lunches on the weekends to catch up. He went to vegan restaurants with me. And we still connected, but we connected over vegan food, which was healthy. And he would never do that. Never, ever. Every meal he needs to have meat, but he did it for me. Like, he may have went home and had some meat, but at least in that moment, he still did that. And I know that I was able to connect with him, and it was also good for his health. And we both ended up finishing the meal feeling both light and, energetic. We didn't both feel sick, which was great. And we still connected. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great when you can have this kind of person which are supporting you, which are your family, your friends. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's the hardest part is to have this support behind you because
Yeah.
it's well, especially at the beginning when you start, it's a
Mm.
difficult journey. And if you are there by
Mm.
yourself, it's even more difficult.
Yes, and that's exactly why I've started this HealthFormers podcast. You can see that I'm not talking about what is health. I'm not here to give you the facts about health because there are so many great podcasts out there already, which you can go to learn all those facts. My podcast is all about providing that connection that you're looking for, so you don't feel like you're alone. Like you can see that we're just ordinary people going on this health journey, and we're just all doing some sort of our own type of trial and error, and we're making progress. We're becoming more healthy, we're eating more plant-based food, we're feeling more energy, and we're just here to share that, and hopefully you can resonate with that and find that connection you need. And this is the community I'm building, and I want to spread this community, this love, so anyone who's looking for that connection can come on here and hear that, and hopefully what we're saying, you can go, oh yeah, I felt like that as well, so I'm not alone. Like you're not alone, we're all on this together. Yeah.
So if you like what you hear, please subscribe, please subscribe.
Yeah, and then share it with your
And
loved
share,
ones. Yeah, share it. Yeah.
yeah, that's a great bridge to lead to the last two questions that we will ask to Lucy today. So tell us a bit more. Where do you see that podcast and Age of the Plants and Health Farmer going in the next few months?
Yes. So next, so I've just released for Age of the Plants. Now it's up to episode 3, and then next Thursday I'll be releasing episode 4, D. And so that's ongoing every Thursday. And then for this HealthFormers podcast, it's every Monday it'll be released. And this is more for, like what I mentioned before, is to spread, like, you know, share the health journey that we are all going on. I will be inviting, like, whether it's health influencers or they're nutritionists or coaches, or even they are just ordinary people who's on this health journey. I'll be inviting a variety, a diversity of people to come and share. And the reason I'm doing that is hopefully you can find connection with like at least one of the episodes that you can resonate with, and it'll help you to go on this health journey. So that's for the podcast. And then I'm starting to work on an Eva book. Do you know what that is?
No.
So Eva book is, you've all heard of ebooks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be doing an ebook, but I like to over deliver. So not only will it come in an ebook, it will also be a video book, video, V for video, and then it will also be an audio book. So it'll come in all different formats. So whether you're a person who likes to read, or you're a person who's more visual and likes to see things, or you're a person who's more like audio type, it'll come in the 3 formats. And I'll be sharing my some tips and tricks about how easy it is and how fun it is to go on this healthy plant-based journey in that ebook. So I'm working on that, and that's coming very soon. It's going to blow your mind on how it's going to work out. You've probably already heard some of what I'm thinking about in today's podcast. So that's coming, and that's very exciting. Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Indeed, very excited.
Yeah.
So well done on that, and I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
So the last question is about your goal is to influence and impact as many people can globally join the plant-based movement. And which person would you recommend to come on the podcast? So I want to shift that question as well, that if you have anyone, go for it. But I would like to ask you as well, to the audience, if they know anybody that they have been through a journey of plant-based and they want to share their experience, contact Lucy. She's amazing. and don't hesitate, and she will make sure that you get a very nice hotspot and having fun along the way, isn't it?
Yes, thank you. Oh my God, great minds think alike. Because I was just exactly going to suggest that. Because I already have a list of all the people I like to invite, but I want to put it out to you, listeners out there. I want to make this podcast as relatable to you as possible and as valuable as it can be. So if you know anyone who's on this health journey, on this health plant-based journey or vegan journey, and you know that they have so much experience, they can come on and share, and it can help influence, it can help inspire and impact more people to come on this journey, contact me. Leave a comment and let me know who it is, and I'll reach out to them to make sure that they come and get interviewed on the podcast coming up. Yeah. So yeah, please do that. Yeah.
Yeah. You are there. Please share, please come and comment on anything, and she will be in touch with you.
Yep.
Having said that, Lucy will be back as the host of the podcast next week. So not this crazy sexy.
It's this one. It's real hair.
Not this fake one. With having said that, please let's finish with the end slogan, which is live happy, live healthy. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Okay. Isn't it? I've got it right?
Yeah, live healthy. Yeah. You got it. Okay, ready? Oh God.
Live healthy, live happy.
Live healthy.
Live happy. Woo!
Thank you so much, Raphael, for being the host for me today.
Much appreciated. Thank you for allowing me to be the host and to give your listeners the chance to discover you a bit more.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed today's show.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Live healthy. Live happy. Live healthy. Live happy. Live healthy. Live happy. A, I, U, E, O. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Eh? Da 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 da. 头较大，看较清楚。I love it!
So I was like, looks like your hair, so I can wear it. I look like Lucy.
I feel like I need to go to pee again.
So I can practice while being recorded. Lucy Tsai was born in Taiwan, where she accidentally and got in huge trouble and laughed out loud to cheer up her grandma. Welcome to HealthFormers Age of the Plant Podcast 3.
Well, I'm ready whenever you are, I think. I think you've asked enough questions now. Oh, do you know how to say my name properly?
Yes.
Hello?
To Lucy Tsai. Let's so now it's my time to shine. Say something and it's like welcome to Age of the
I'm flipping already. On.
Take number 2.
Transforming health. One bite at a time. One bite at a time. Once you start, I hope I didn't do too. Your hair.
Feel much better now.
I'm not used to it now.
I was like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
You bet. You bet.
Don't the gigantes.
Oh, you're getting me hungry. Okay.
I am already hungry.
Oh, no. Thank you so much,
You're
Raphael.
welcome, Lucy.
Yeah.
Have a great afternoon.
See you next time.